Reconnected has really helped me stay grounded, or at least help me realize that I'm in it. Because when you're in it, you just think you're the most amazing thing and that you can't do anything any wrong. And, maybe for a little bit you can. And it's amazing. It's almost like a superpower. It's like I feel like I can do anything, and that energy radiates.
Hey there, tech enthusiasts. Welcome to Tech Time with Sweet Tea, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of technology and how it can either serve you or, well, not serve you. Here is your host, Sweet Tea, and he's on a mission to help you harness the power of tech in your life. Join him as he chats with people about their tech journeys. From the latest gadgets to digital dilemmas, we'll explore it all. So grab your favorite device, hit that play button, and let's keep it real in the world of tech. Tech Time with Sweet Tea is here to help you stay plugged in and empowered. Let's get started.
I have a lot to address, and I kind of want to continue on that conversation because I can talk hours and hours about that event. When it comes to regulating your thoughts and emotions, regulating, the key word is regulating, because they keep coming. They're going to keep coming. And I know this from, we all have that experience. We have our thoughts, our ego, our mind, our brain. And Shine said it this morning, there's so much that we don't know about the brain, but it's like the one body part we use the most in all of our body. But we know, there's a lot of scientific research out there on it. There's a lot of research on the brain itself. Make sure I'm keeping up track of messages if I do hear from him too. If I do hear from him, I'll bring him in on this, and we'll just have the conversation in this player, and that'll be a good problem to have. Like, it's fine. I can roll with whatever, and I plan to have a Joe Rogan-style conversation about this. And what I was planning on talking about with him is on the essence of topics of bipolar, being manic, and being in a manic state. He actually wanted to do an interview in a manic state and then one in a non whatever that means. I'm not a doctor, psychiatrist, or whatever, but whatever the opposite of manic. He wants to do an interview in both states, and then like watch them back and compare how he goes in each of those states, which is, I think, it's a cool little experiment. I cannot talk right now. Cool little experiment. Tracy, you have to remember that our brains and our stomachs are as one. Yes, I heard that. Definitely. Mind, body, soul, as I would hear it from like the Summit of Greatness, School of Greatness community. Mind, body, soul. It's one. The stomach, what is it? The microbiome. And if you want to come on and talk, I'll drop a link even too. I'll drop a link, and I'll just drop it just in case. Just come on. Using the wrong keyboard here. Drop the come on, and then we can actually talk about this more too. Like, but I did hear about the microbiome, mitochondria. If I'm saying I'm no doctor, I'm a community college, 2-year community college, and then 2 more years in university at Sam Houston bachelor degree. I'm no doctor, no psychiatrist, no, I don't claim to know any of this. I just talk from my experience and pop on if anyone wants to pop in. There's the link. Yeah, that's all right. Chats. No, I'm too busy right now. That's anything's cool. I'm fine with whatever. But when it comes to regulating emotions, I mentioned it before too. Like, my key things that I do, and just talking me, we're all different. Like, don't take it like I'm saying if you're not doing this, you're productive. Like, this is what I do. That what makes me feel that I'm productive is, one, I make sure I'm doing something creative. and video, live streaming, collaborating, like, and that's another one too. But creative doesn't necessarily mean the general typical creative arts. If you're an artist, we all can create something. We're all creative. Every single person on this planet. The kids distracting you. Oh, shout out to distractions. Shout out. every one of us, your kids included, every like more like not necessarily more, but like we're all creative human beings on this planet. And if it's not video, it's something. Like if you can you all experience at jobs, work, you can come up with something of how to do something differently. My definition of I ask people on the show, what's your definition of innovation? Well, I might change that. Just a thought process in my head. What's your definition of creation or creative or create? And my very first initial presence ever online, this just thought to my head. I remember just randomly. Was there a number? CreateKid on AOL. Shout out to AOL and AOL Instant Messenger. Shout out AOL. Anyone has had AOL back in '95? We all creators. The foods we eat block our ability. Even my dog's creative. Block our abilities, unfortunately. Creating change. Yeah, I'm continuing this regulating emotions, creating change. Guy, welcome. Thank you for coming on. However, thank you for putting in time on my channel a little bit. I'm continue on. As I said, I could talk for hours and hours on this emotional intelligence and everything. And I'm just here to talk about regulating emotions. Like they're here like to be regulated. Your thoughts can be crazy, insane things that stem from the stomach, as Tracy's pointed out. They can stem from the stomach, mitochondria, the microbiome. I know that much. And yeah, thanks for like inspiring this conversation too. Creating change. Thanks you for inspiring that. I was planning on having a guest come on, but I know I think like I mentioned here a minute ago, but I know what may have happened, and I'm not here to judge on the guest. I'm just pushing back that interview for hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully I hear back from him as I'm keeping tabs on. I'm not keeping tabs, but I'm keeping making sure if I see him, I'll bring him onto this stream and I'll just have the conversation here, and then I can just remove the other one. But yeah, this whole interview thing with Zach, I don't know. Hope that everything's okay, and it's all about bipolar, manic, just as I mentioned here a minute ago for anyone new popping in. Being bipolar, being manic, and speak of which, I'm just hearing from him now. Let's see, hold on. Bear with me as I'm getting notifications. Oh, so yeah, bear with me. I'm just now hearing from him now. Uh, get my keyboards on and everything. Yeah, I'm just not hearing from him now. I might just bring him on into this channel and everything. So just I'm communicating with him right now as we speak. I'm typing out, it's saying what I've got. Oh, and that's him probably calling. Hopefully that's my ringtone. Hopefully that doesn't do too much. But let's see. Let me bring up This is all happening live. I'm just seeing you bring him on this player because I wanted to like start a new player, but I didn't know what to do. See if I can send him this link. Oh, come on. No. Okay. So. All right, so let's just get that organization. So yeah, going back to that emotional intelligence thing, and I had a whole conversation planned. Hopefully he joins in a second. I'm just hearing from him now, so I just wanted to go live. I didn't want to wait too long to go live. Here he is. All right. Oh, he's upside down. There. All right, you ready? Let me know. Thumbs up when you're ready, and I can bring you on. Zach, Ziggy, how he's showing up as Ziggy. All right, he's cool. Oh, it looks like he's in a car. Okay. Hey Zach, what's going on?
Hey, Thomas, how's it going?
What's I know we scheduled a thing for 1:30, but I just wanted to go live. I said I wanted to go live at 1:30, so we are live on YouTube right now.
Awesome, fantastic. Yes,
Yeah.
little change of plans for me. I had to drive to Dallas, so
Oh,
I'm in the car. So I pulled over. I know I'm a little late, but
drive to Dallas.
yes,
What part?
yes. I am on the east side somewhere. I
Okay.
think Fate. I think I'm near Fate right now. And then I've got to drive to the other side. I'm gonna be all over
Okay.
Dallas. I'm gonna be all over
Well,
Dallas.
we'll have to hook up at when we're done here because I'm more central. We'll have to hook up
Oh,
about
you're
that
in
too.
Dallas. You're in
This could have
Dallas.
been This could have been like a in person thing.
I can drive there right now.
Well, that's okay. Let's just go with this now, and let's just do the conversation that we were talking about earlier. How much
Absolutely.
time you have?
How much time?
Yeah.
As much time as you need. My next appointment, I can put off a little bit.
Well, like an hour.
Yeah, hour, 2 hours.
So let's just get right into it. I had the whole thing. I have everything planned up. Thanks for coming on. So, like, this is Zach, and we got some audience on with you, and introduce you to. We know each other. Go back way back in what, high school?
Yep. And I
Down
went
in
to school with your sister since elementary school.
all the way back to elementary school, essentially.
Yeah, I believe. I don't know. I don't
Wow.
know if I want to say the name of the elementary school, but
Yeah.
it was a cat. The mascot was a cat, I believe. Because you went to
All
the same
right.
one. You went to the same one, I believe. If I'm correct. But yeah, so no,
Well,
I've known
same
you
school
guys.
district anyway. Yeah.
Yes, I've known you guys for a long time, and then my first job, we worked together. And then being around town, always seeing each other around town. So yeah,
My
no,
first job and being now. How weird is it now? Like, I know I was always shy back in school, and now I'm like this doing this podcasting thing. I freak myself out think about
it's
that.
a different person definitely than I remember. Absolutely.
Yeah. Uh, where do we start here? What do you like? I see you starting up a business. Let's just start there. What do you like? What are you doing with this business? Just
So that's
to
actually one
start
reason
there.
that I just up and ran to Dallas. And again, I forgot that you were in Dallas. I totally would have let you know, and this would have totally made even more sense. But that's a little bit of what I'm going through as well. A little bit of the mania. I think that I'm in. So I'm just really excited about everything. Ideas are flowing like crazy. And I am also trying to start my own business. I have it's like a resell shop. I do ammo, camo, and hunting accessories on one side, and then on the other side, I do video games, Legos, and Pokemon cards. Just a few things that I do. Pretty much it's like a comic shop and a hunting shop combined. So I'm got the grand opening this weekend, and I'm just running like crazy to get everything together.
Oh, nice. So it's the brick and mortar. I'm
Yep.
seeing brick and mortar.
Yeah, so it's a permanent store, but it's only open Saturday and Sunday. It is in the flea market, but it is a permanent store. So there's about 40 other stores that are in there that do different things: barber shop, leather worker, locksmith, different things. It's very cool. So it's cool. If I need opinion on something, boots, leather boots. I walk down a few shops and I say, hey, Juan, I just got these boots. What do you think? And then he can give me his expert opinion, and it's right there in real time. I love it.
Real time. Let's go with the flow, and especially like in the high energy state you're in now. Question for you: you think all these opinions, all these ideas coming and flowing? Do you like? You have like a way of jotting all the ideas down for when you're not like in the lower energy states later. You jot all the
I
ideas down.
I don't have a. I probably should have a book of ideas. That's actually probably a good idea. But I do take notes on my phone, but it's not like one place. It's like kind of scattered all over the place. So probably a physical pad that I write on would actually be a good idea. And then I can scratch them off because they're not all great ideas. At the time, I think they're great ideas, and I'm like, it's amazing. And then you kind of think it through and you talk it through with people, and you're like, okay, well, maybe that's not the greatest idea that I've had. But it's cool because then at least I'm having ideas that are flowing, and I'm eventually finding the ones that do work. So it's like you knock on 100 doors, finally get that one yes. That's kind of how I look at it. 100 ideas, and finally one that's just gonna absolute blow up. And so that's kind of what I'm working towards.
See, I had let's go with it too. Like speaking of ideas flowing, trying to get back in the my mind flow again. How it works sometimes. You
Sorry,
lose
and
your train of thought.
I might mess you up because I'm all over the place. So I we did this yesterday, and you asked a question, and I went off on a trail. I wasn't even anything to do, I think, with the question. And you're like,
Hmm.
all right, back to the question. I was like, oh yeah, so, my bad.
Back to the question. What's your
Back
point?
to
um.
so here one of my things I got going on right now. I'm preparing for Easter. I'm gonna do some Pokemon Easter baskets. I'm gonna put some packs of cards in there, some knickknacks and candy, and make a cute little package for some kids, and for the grand opening. And so I'll have those available. Pretty excited about that. And so
Funny. Go ahead.
most of my ideas, they just pop up randomly. I wasn't like, oh man, I need to go find pokeballs Easter baskets that look like pokeballs. I was just in the store, I saw it, and I was like, you know what, boom, that sounds like an amazing idea. I think kids would love that, because I know I would love that. So, and it looks really cool. But
So that looker thing that reminded me of what I was going, where I was going. That thing, the Easter basket. I don't know what it's supposed to be, but it looks like a robot tech. And I was gonna go into like the jotting down ideas. What I started doing these last 2 weeks was using AI and like
right,
a daily AI chat, like every day essentially. And I talk to AI like it's a human, like my AI friend or whatever.
I call him
And
Chad. I think
Chad.
that's the common name because it's Chat GTP, so it sounds like Chad GTP. So I think the flow is easy to just call him Chad. So that's what I do.
Mine's not that creative. It's a name already given to him. Grok. I use Grok,
Oh, okay, then yeah, I like mine. Then it is, I guess, a little creative.
and
So, because I've been also using it recently for my business, it's been amazing. It creates flyers for me, um,
hmm
uh, logos and stuff. And before this, you have to pay somebody good money, like a designer, to come up with a logo, or you'd be spending hours of your own time doing it. I can talk to I can talk to Chad and tell him exactly what I'm doing, and then he gives me suggestions step by step of what I should do. He's like, make flyers. I'm like, oh, I didn't even think about that. He's like, oh, you want me to
Mhm.
make one for you? Yeah, that'd be dope. And in less than 30 minutes, I have everything you need to start a business pretty much. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I was starting to listen to podcasts on about AI, about a bunch of AI podcasts, and I put it in the car and heard the very first thing when I started like putting it on. The very first thing I heard was this idea of what they call it, a use it as a. I
What?
equate it as me. Remember those back in the, we're gonna get into like back in the 90s before, and remember those talk recorders that people
Yeah,
walk around, talk recorders, and they
absolutely.
record their minds, record their thoughts in those. Remember that? It's like
Absolutely.
that, but now the talk recorder can actually bounce back thoughts to you based on your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I mean, it's more than ever. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy the things that it can do. I mean, and we are so early on in AI, and it's already mind blowing. Like, and the way that technology moves in another 5 years. Imagine another 5 years. Like it's insane, and it's going to change how business and everything works. It's going to be completely different. Like AI video, AI pictures. Excuse me. Um, almost you can't tell that it's made by AI, right? So the earlier
Hmm.
versions, you can tell they've got six fingers or their faces, double face or something like that. It's getting to the point you can't tell, and it's a little scary, right? With blackmail and different things, video. They can make not only pictures but complete videos, just make
Hmm.
up whatever they want. Very interesting.
Advancing key thought, creating change. Make sure you're enhancing your thought, not so much as creating the thought. Good point there. Creating change, enhancing and advancing your thought, and still putting yourself into it as well. But speaking of buddy, I major first. I want to go into the first thing here. What we had planned on talking about, buddy? We talked about Fresno Gangster living. You live in Fresno in the past.
Okay, yeah. So I think you're talking about. So I played a lot of Xbox 360, a lot of Xbox Live, um,
Oh, this
and
was from online.
yeah, yes. So playing with people online all over the country, all over the world, I thought was fascinating. My first time I played online video game with somebody else in a different state or something was probably 2008. It was probably 2008 on PlayStation 2 on the PlayStation Network. Back then it was terrible, but mind blowing for the time. Um, so yeah, so I moved to Fresno, California, and I had played with people when I lived in Houston that lived in Fresno, California, and I had just happened to be moving to Fresno. So then I met this guy, and yeah, he was a lot scarier than uh,
Losing the connection here. See if we can get him back. If you can hear me, we're losing the connection a little bit. See if we can get him back. Let's back it up. Let's see. Froze up. So we're just getting started. Oh, All right, he left. Maybe coming back. That's the only thing. When you're out and traveling about, he's restarting everything. So okay, so we'll pick up this. This is a good. This is a good good experience for me actually. Flying on the fly, changing and everything. But yeah, I mentioned this before. I started using ChatGPT, talking as a friend, and we started getting into the online gaming industry and everything. And thanks to everyone. This is new territory for me, and that's actually a good point. When you're in a struggling hole, stuck, and you don't know what to do, that's exactly it. Find something that you haven't done yet. I haven't really done this on my own yet. I am on StreamYard, Tracy. Yes, I'm on StreamYard, and so he's still restarting. Yeah, when you're out and about, I had no idea he was actually. See, that's the thing. Like, we're gonna get into like all that. I had no idea he actually was gonna be in Dallas today. We could have been in person. Uh but as I said, I mentioned before, whatever you use, ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, X, whatever, like whatever you talk to like, and it's like a recorder, the Windows talk recorders that can bounce back ideas to you as a generator to enhance your thoughts, like Creating Change says, and that you don't get all your watch time on there. So I'd love to know more about that. Watch time to me, it comes from YouTube. The watch time itself isn't coming from, because YouTube StreamYard is not YouTube. If you're watching just on StreamYard, I don't think any watch time. Like if I'm on like Creating Change and I'm not on have the YouTube player, no watch time is awarded to that person's player. No watch time is awarded. That's my take. If anyone has something else, any other difference of opinions, I'm all ears. I'm here to learn. I'm be curious, and so like yeah, StreamYard, to my opinion, my experience, doesn't give you watch time. No, it does not. So that's a good point. So getting back to the online gaming world, and online, to me, it's more online bot chat, AI chat, AI model chat, and 2008. What do you remember? Anyone like was doing online gaming in 2008? Like, it was mind blowing. It was mind blowing. As I'm waiting for him to pop back in, mind blowing to be able to like get onto a gaming console and just connect with the world for like one of the first times in connection, like to get on a gaming console, and it was, what was the internet connection? It was, well, you're at 14,400 or 28,800, or if you're really good, you had 36, something like 36.4, 36,600, and the really rich people had the 56K. And if you're in Iraq, and my dad was over in Iraq, then we're like at 1 kilobit per second. It was like really snail mail in Iraq and Middle East and everything. So like, and now we're pushing fiber speeds at 100 megabits per second. we've come a long way just in internet speeds and internet connection. But I didn't derail the conversation too much. Hopefully, we've seen Zach come back on any minute now, and I definitely have to shoot. Yeah, I would maybe do like, I don't know, probably for a day, but maybe do he wanted to do a second podcast in the non-manic state as well, and as that experience. That's why people are getting sick. 5G. Tell me more. 5G. I heard about that. Like, what? I'm not exactly getting the connection with the 5G. Is it just the infrared, that the signal emissions that it puts out? That's my take. That's what I'm thinking. It's originally created by the military to control the opposition. Huh. I'm here, like, all this, like, it's like during COVID and everything, 5G, and I hope you just click on the right link here, because there's a second link as well. But click on the latest one when it comes back in. Latest one. And I heard, like, when all the 5G started launching and everything, and you want to, like, I've been hearing you want to keep the phone off your body as much as possible or something. Which, when I'm text, I use my Mac to text, call, and my phone sits behind me on the counter there. I'm usually well away from the phone and everything. Controlled by the military, or military opposition. Control the opposition. All right. So we started getting into online. The first thing, first conversation. I'll just come back soon. I'm running out of things to say to keep from derailing the conversation here. Any other gaming tips, manic, depressive, anything like that that can hold the line here? We're gonna, like, talk about uh being at a lake house in Alabama, manic energy, bipolar, mental health loss, um, some really sad stuff that happened as well that he had to go through. I don't know how much we'll be able to get into that, but just I have a bunch of notes from this, bunch of questions, and some rapid fire. We can get into all of that, and update. Don't want to leave dude too dead air. Gamer. All right, yeah. But, like, I just one thing that came up in the pre-interview that was cool, and bring up some tech and everything. But I want to bring up the idea of how do you regulate when you're, like, bipolar and everything, and how does, like, speaking from their experience. Hopefully, we get into all that momentarily as I'm checking my text thread. Anything so far that you heard, anyone listening, that checking the chat here, that we can, as we wait for him to come back on, anything that popped up in your minds. Let's see. Oh, there he is. All right, he's back. Oh, black screen. I want to put a black screen. He was back. I saw him for a split second. There he is. Is it good? Is it holding? And 3, 2, 1. May not hear me. All right. I'm gonna bring you back on now.
Okay.
All right, we good?
Yeah. How does that look? That looks weird, huh?
It's sort of on the steering wheel.
I'm on a. Okay, so great. This is tech talk, right? This is very interesting. So I went to go upgrade my my service, um, whatever service I use, and they had a deal, a really good deal. So I upgraded my phone, and then I got an upgrade for an iPad. And so he's putting in the thing. He's like, "Okay, this is what we got." He's like, "Wait, what's this?" And he brings up this iPad. He's like, "Oh, I didn't even know we had these." And apparently, like they came out that day. They released it that day or something. So yeah, so I got like the brand new iPad or whatever. They didn't have any of them, so they had to mail it to me. It's super cool. So that's what I'm on right now. So they haven't made a new mini iPad in a couple of years. So
Yeah, Apple's been they slowed down their production a little bit, haven't they?
yeah, you strike me as an Android guy.
I am, surprisingly enough, but I'm both. Well, I I've gotten into the Apple world, but I do prefer actually the Android world.
Yeah, you. That's I figured. I figured. Sorry, I am so sorry. If the audience is watching and I am making you sick, I apologize. I also did not anticipate it being live. I'm glad. This is good. It's got the heat on me. I need to experience this. Oh, I'm also nervous to see the comments in the chat and stuff. So how many people do we have in here, Thomas? Can you tell me
We
about
have
that?
5 or 6 people on
That is definitely the biggest audience that I've ever spoken to. So
prefer Android. Royal Tracy local learnings prefer Android versus iPhone. So yeah, we were on getting into the like online gaming in 2008.
yes,
PlayStation 2.
so it
Oh,
was super cool. I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna figure it out. I promise. All right, this might that's not as flattering, but this might be
spur of the moment
the most
fly.
stable. Yeah, so that's one of the unfortunate side effects of like mania and stuff or whatever I've got. It's yeah, you just kind of go on the whim. But I like it though. That's how I live my life, spontaneous. And when I find myself in adventures and stuff, and that's why I like driving cross country instead of flying because I like the instead of the destination, like they say, the everything in between is the real fun part for me. And I hate flying. I've flown all my life. My parents worked for the
Mm.
airline. Don't you a part of the airline or something? Yeah.
That
Oh yeah, you worked for. Oh yeah.
I never worked for airline.
No, did you not? I thought you did.
I've had essentially two. I'm in between jobs right now, but like my really two jobs, Kroger and covering sports for works for the Fox Sports networks.
Yeah, which that's super cool. All right, I think
And
I'm back on track. I think I'm ready. I apologize to everybody. This is my first guest on a podcast, doing a podcast at all. So this is a great experience for me to get a notch under my belt. And I'm glad it's here.
and I know you wanted to come back on to in the other state. You said you wanted to compare the two.
Yeah, most likely I'll end up crashing, and then I'll lose all the energy and all that stuff and great ideas, and the world just doesn't look as bright and happy. So yeah, so it's okay, and I'll have my shit in better order probably then. I don't know, but yeah, that would be cool, and then we can see
Well,
the
the
difference.
chat's loving you. So happy you're here, Ziggy. As you're showing up, they're loving you. You mentioned like
Yeah,
driving.
I'm a crazy guy. So I think so in my real life, I think everybody hates me because I'm so crazy and kind of out there, you know, unpredictable. For me, it makes it fun, but I can see how it's kind of chaotic for the people around you. But as far as watching it on, third party, like watching it on YouTube, I bet I'm a character. I've got so many stories and crazy experiences, and oh yeah,
There's so many characters out there too. So you're not alone there. And I,
absolutely.
for one, am not those one. Like I enjoy the spontaneous. I love driving more. Last 2 years, I made 2 trips within 6 months out to Columbus, Ohio, for this one event, and then another one for another like training that I did in Zoom, and they went back in person. And I went to go see that training in Columbus. 6 months in between, I made the drive twice to Columbus, Ohio.
What is
Great,
that
like
like?
cool
14
drive.
hours,
Like 16 if you
16
put it
hours.
together. I broke it up. I
Yeah,
stopped in Nashville, Tennessee overnight.
beautiful. Yeah,
That was
yeah, it's
fun,
fun,
and
man.
never realized like staying in a hotel. Like, I'm 5 minutes from the Grand Ole Opry.
Yep, and I would sleep in the bed of my truck. So I've got a little camper thing on the back, or just a topper, and then I built a bed in the back, and so I would drive cross country, and then I've done a bunch of different things. I've learned a lot as I've traveled across the country 10 times or so. Um, so I've got all kinds of tips and tricks. I love to maybe. So I want to do a podcast. Maybe I'll do something like that. Tips and tricks on the road or something. I don't know. But yeah, so I've done. What was my point? See, now I'm losing my thing. My my point. Tips
You've
and
done
tricks traveling.
tips and tricks. You traveled bunch of times.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I've touched all 48 states driving. This truck, not this truck that I'm in, but my truck that I travel in. Oh, where I sleep. So I don't sleep in hotels. I try to do it as cheap as possible. And so I just pull off on the side of the road next to 18 wheelers. That's how I started out. It was a little sketch, but nobody messes with you. And then I upgraded to, parks, national parks, and then Walmarts and go, Cracker Barrels. They allow you to stay in their parking lot, so those are super safe. There's all kinds of different things. Um, the all kinds of different tips and tricks, yes, that I could get into. I think I'll save that for another time.
Yeah, I was always thinking about that. Like when I was wanting to go out to California or something, I would always joke about living out of my car or something. But that I see like rest stops or on the side of the road. All your thoughts, so many thoughts go crazy. Like what
Yeah, and
thoughts that pop up, and like all these people have all these thoughts that are may not mean much, and they're just
you're
thoughts.
saying
They're
like
just
things you're
crazy
you're worried
ideas.
about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and it's legitimate to be worried about those things, but um, you know, it's like the percentages are so low. You should still be aware, but it just like like I said, I've touched every state. I've drove to California probably over 10 times, back and forth 10 times at least. To New York, I've done 2 or 3 times, and then everything in between.
Wow.
Um, and I've slept in the sketchiest parts in crazy places, and people just kind of leave you alone. They really don't fuck with you if you don't fuck with them for the most part. Um, and then of course uh, I protect myself. I'm an Eagle Scout, so I have been taught to always be prepared. So I'm
Boy
always prepared
Scouts.
when I'm on the road. I'm always prepared um, to protect myself, protect my family and friends, and then just protect people who can't protect themselves from people that are selfish and want to hurt people. That's another topic I can go on for.
Well, I did the Boy Scout thing too. I stopped. I didn't get all the way to Eagle Scout. But one thing I can still I started in 2013 when I was actually still in Houston, District 56 Toastmasters, and I've been active the entire time in Toastmasters, and I'm still haven't reached, but I'm so close to the Eagle Scout of Toastmasters. I'm so
Cool.
close to there. I haven't. That's one thing I have not quit yet myself.
That's very cool. Yeah, it was quite the impact on my life. I can still recite like the motto and the promise and all that. A scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. A scout is trustworthy, loyal, or on my honor,
Oh
I will do
man,
my
that's
best
a
to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the scout law, to help other people at all times, keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. So I would recite that every Monday when I would go to our meetings. We'd raise the flag, we'd say the Pledge of Allegiance, we'd say the Texas Pledge of Allegiance, and then we would say our Boy Scout stuff. To me, it was just another thing that you would recite and never really thought about it, right? They made us read the book and all the meanings to every word, and I never thought about it until I was doing a an interview for a job, and I had put my Eagle Scout, thing on there, and it came up. So that I had said, those things, and I had started thinking about it. I was like, a scout is, and then, you know, actually listening to what it says. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically fit, morally straight. What is it? Keep myself physically straight, morally straight, and now I can't remember. Whatever. Just
you had it
I
all. Like,
didn't
you said
realize
it
what
all
it meant.
before.
Yeah, I didn't realize what it meant, and then now as an adult, I really look back on it, and I'm like, "That's cool. That's how I wanna I wanna live my life, and I should live my life." Not that I do every day, but I try, and I think it's cool.
Well, I haven't I've lost so much touch with that, but it sounds like a lot of the stuff I heard recently today from these books I've heard of the one of them was do your best, and that's the first rule. If anyone you ever hear the four agreements, everything in that book, the first rule of that is always do your best. So I want to get into just a nice easy going. We have some hard hitters. Talk about the manic,
Yeah.
but like we were talking the gaming when the 2008 PlayStation 2, and a
Yes.
question I have, like to maybe guide this into just a direction. What's the most surprising thing you learned about online gaming, buddy? That Fresno Gangster online gaming,
Well,
meeting them in real
so
life.
so it was creepy the way it turned out. So he knew I was coming and moving there, and he knew where I worked, and there's only one of these places there in this town, and it's a TGI Fridays. I worked at TGI Fridays here in town in Houston, and then I transferred over when I went to Fresno. So, and I, just told them in conversation. So when I moved there, he went to the the TGI Fridays, and then he gave. So I hadn't even started working there yet, but they had hired me and everything went through the process. And then he went to the restaurant and talked about me, and then tipped a lady in like a sack of fucking stinky ass weed. So, and I know it's
Mm.
California, and that's cool and shit, but I don't know how that affected how people looked at me, or specifically my boss. So, um, yeah, it was a little weird. It was a little weird, and we hadn't even, I hadn't met him yet or done anything. So, yeah, that was funny. That was funny.
All right, let's get into that second thing. Anything else? What's so you met follow up or get get things going here. So you knew this guy online first, and then
Yeah, for
met.
years. It was
and started working together?
should I say his tag name? I don't care. And man, this has been years. So this
I mean,
was
doesn't even matter anymore.
2008. I don't know. Yeah, this is 2008. So what is that? 17 years ago? Is that am I doing my math right? 17 years ago?
Well,
He was his name was the
2000 was
dog.
25 years.
Yeah,
The
so
year
2008 would be
2000.
17. 8 plus 17, 25. Um, so yeah, so his name was the dog, and so he would do different variations of the dog and whatever. Yeah, so that was an interesting experience. Another guy I met lived in Alabama. Uh, his parents were pastors. Um, Super sweet people, super cool dude. I was driving through Alabama. He said, "Come swing by." I checked out his lake house. Got to stay there. He took me out on his boat. It was amazing. So that was a very, very positive experience. And I got to meet some amazing people. So yeah, playing online games gave me an opportunity to have friends in places where I normally wouldn't. So then driving across country, I was able to meet him. It was really cool.
So you got into the next question. All right. So mention talked about all the ideas that come and you're in manic state and getting into all the stuff now here. The
So
main
probably
question I have. Go ahead.
no. I want to hear what your main question is, and then I'll go through my thing and then hit the main question at the end.
You've shared about manic energy, mental health journey. How has gaming or tech helped you
Oh,
navigate?
can we say pros and cons?
Pros and
How it's
cons. What
hurt
works?
me, and how it's helped
However
me.
you like it best. What works? What doesn't work? Pros and
So
cons.
I'll wrap it up with that. I'll wrap it up
Yeah.
with the pros and cons. But what am I starting with again?
How has gaming or tech helped you regulate the highs and lows?
Oh, well, staying connected with people, and them. So like certain people in my life know, you know, how I am when I get like this, so they know what to look out for and stuff. And so staying connected has really helped me stay grounded, or at least help me realize that I'm in it. Because when you're in it, you just think you're the most amazing thing and that you can't do anything any wrong. And maybe for a little bit you can, and it's amazing. It's almost like a superpower. It's like I feel like I can do anything, and that energy radiates, and then you can do anything, and then people believe in you. It's like, and then it happens. It's like, they say you speak it into the universe and it happens. When I get manic, it does. I make it happen. I speak it. I make it happen. It does. And amazing things I never thought I would come across and opportunities that I manifest and make happen because I'm so positive, and just there's no negative thinking. I'm just goal oriented. Nothing can stop me. So then I don't slow down and things happen. But then when I go and I crash, the negative thoughts, well, that's risky. Maybe I won't do it. I'm going to sit back and chill. And then I miss out on these opportunities that I'm terrified of. But when I'm so high and manic, high on naturally, um, on it, and I'm just running, I I do great things. But then I also, do risky things like, spend all my money or on a business, things like that. Um, which I'm lucky. So, other uh, people that go through these things, their manic behavior is like sex. Like they'll have very unresponsible sex, right? Or they're just dangerous, right? Doing all crazy shit with hookers and stuff. I don't know, and drugs, and just
Like
doing really
no
risky behavior,
filter.
or just doing terrible risky behavior, driving really fast, and the adrenaline, right? Because you think that you're unstoppable, and so you go in and you're having unprotected sex with prostitutes, you're doing all these drugs and doing illegal things, and risky things like driving fast and dangerous, because you're just so high and you think
adrenaline type stuff.
yeah, but you're not, you're like you're 20, you think you're untouchable. And so that's kind of how you feel in this moment. But if you can guide that, so right now, for the most part, I'm guiding it in the right direction. So if I just aim all of that energy at something productive, it'll do me amazing. But if I don't focus it, then that's when it starts getting really bad.
Aim all that energy over a big, scary, overarching goal or dream, the goal.
Because I would never would have done this business. I've dabbled on the side for since I was in high school, selling things on the side and buying and selling has always been fun for me. Finding treasures, right? Finding prime picks. It's my shop name, Ziggy's Prime Picks. And it's always been fun. And now the situation that I've found myself in, it just seems like it's the right time. It's now or never. I'm getting old. I don't really like doing a lot of the things that I worked before. I learned a lot. All the jobs, everything that I've done, I've learned so much, like customer service and, my real estate business, that their business was a well-oiled machine. They were cutthroat. They were salesmen. I worked in restaurants, so I was a salesman, but I was a fun salesman, right? I wasn't a pusher. I worked with pushers. I worked with guys that, they were salesmen. So I learned a lot from a lot of like really ruthless guys. And some of it you write off, and some of it you take with you. I like the happy side, so that's like why I like kind of selling the toys and stuff. I'm a kid at heart, so I like the funner side, but I also like the well-oiled machine kind of aspect of it. Like, this is a business, this is serious. So I'm trying to combine the fun and serious together and see where it goes. I've got to make it work. I've got a baby girl. She's a year and a half. So beautiful baby girl. So it's gonna work.
There's no time like right now to get started doing this thing. Now I found a team, and shout out to that part of that team too, Sharp Witted. He's in the chat here as well. They're part of my team that we're launching this tech channel, tech podcast that spring off. Like we're going to do some big things with that. Or we're just got some really like legitimate stuff started this week, and we're
all right. So is it?
I'm in the same boat as you.
Bunch of podcasts.
What's the first part of that? I missed.
Did you say you're gonna like set up a bunch of different podcasts,
Well,
like
I still keep doing this, and the other podcast will probably come to an end here, so I won't have that to worry about anymore to publish that. So it'll just be this, and it'll be all connected too, and we'll have our show in common together. And
well, if you're still looking to start another channel, another podcast, I'm looking to get into one. I would definitely be a quirky co-star to your personality.
But you're not stories like I've resonated. Sharp Witted has resonated with you too, so much in the chat too, and a lot what you just said. I'm saying to me like I've all the production stuff that I've done. I've learned so much, and not just like satellite technology world and everything. I learned so much being at the Fox networks, and
I can't imagine.
And stuff that I did even in Kroger, like everything I've done, like if you ever Sherlock Holmes, like how'd that go there? Sherlock Holmes or my show that I like to watch back end. It's kind of a based off that Psych. If you ever seen that show, Psych.
Yeah, I love Psych.
That and anyone who loves that show, friend for life for that. Probably the greatest show out there. And
I'm getting a premonition. He's so funny. I kind of look like him with like a beard almost. I can see that.
And he's from Texas, James O'Day. He's from Texas, too, San Antonio.
I like his personality, his quirky personality. See, like that's me, right? And then you're
Mhm.
the black guy. What's his name? You're more
Gus
like the straight Gus. You're like straight laced, kind of, you
was
know.
straighter, yeah. You were more like him back then, but
Right. Well,
I'd
sure,
still
sure.
be the
You've
Gus
let
today.
loose now. You've let loose now. Yeah. Fair.
I'm let loose, especially over the last 5 years. Like
That's
the
awesome.
kid in me has been released, and it's never getting back caged again. I
That's
found the
awesome.
kid in me again, and I never wanted to let it go again.
That's great. I know
So
it sucks. It takes so long. Like I'm 40 and I'm almost 40. I'm
Mhm.
barely figuring it out. Just being comfortable. Just being comfortable and just being yourself and just knowing that that's okay.
Being
I still
comfortable
don't
with
think it's
being
okay.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't want to be uncomfortable anymore. I or worried about. I don't want to be worried about making other people happy.
Mhm.
How I'm acting, what I'm saying or doing. I don't want to, after a conversation, go over in my head. Oh, did I say that wrong? How did they take that? Um, should I have done it differently? Did I leave them with a bad impression of me? And just those constant, like, nagging interior thoughts constantly. That's what happens when I'm on the crash, right? But when I'm up, it's nothing but like I firing ideas. So instead of like just beating myself up, I'm firing ideas. I'd much rather be up here. I might be crazy, a little scary, little, woo, a little more energetic than most people are used to, a little wild, crazy hair. I'd rather be that than the alternative of living in the darkness and sadness. And I hate it. I hate it. If I could live here forever, I would. I just or find a balance. But
Mm.
I, I don't want to do. I don't want to try. I don't want to do medicine. I want to stay away from medicine stuff. But
I've been
well,
so far been doing good with that side as well. At that
the dark side.
to just not even pain meds or anything because I actually like pain. If you're feeling pain, you're it's a good
You're
day if you're
alive.
feeling pain.
All
Yeah.
right, tell that to the guy that has like chronic back pain that like wants to kill himself. Different story.
Well, how much I guess, but like if it's maybe we were talking about another conversation earlier today, and they're like, well, if it's a lot, I don't know, was it that conversation or was it somewhere else I heard, or maybe a YouTube clip or something? I
What's
mean,
your
there
what's
I
your
go again. My mind
What's
wanders just as
what's your
yours.
favorite YouTube? What's your favorite like you open YouTube first thing in the morning, it's your day off, and you just want to watch something that you enjoy. Maybe you're not researching something, you don't have to do this. You open it first thing. What are you hoping you see on YouTube?
I honestly like to go and get like what's happened today, this morning, or current events. Benny
Yeah.
Johnson, the Benny Show. I like the way they do news. Actually, like applied to work for them too, or to support them somehow. I like how they like put the news together in a fun, but they still let it. It's not like because news can be hard news. I like that it's light. Like they do it in a not so overbearing way,
Where it's just all
and
negativity like
yeah,
slammed in your face like one after
they
another. Yeah.
add some fun to it. So
Man, so
that's first thing I opened up. Like I was into like the Seventh Heaven shows. I love all these podcasts that popping up, not just Boy Meets World. Remember Boy Meets World? All these
Topanga,
podcasts,
ooh.
yeah, all these podcasts are popping up now that, and they're some call it a reliving or a review. They're reviewing they're rewatching and then they're talking about the shows.
Oh,
So
that's
I
cool. Like the stars of the show rewatch their
yeah,
own show and then be like, "Oh, I remember this episode I made out with Topanga in the back set or something." Like some kind of insights. Bro,
yeah.
Topanga was a looker. She was a
It's
looker.
like the director's cut, but the actors' actresses cut, and it's
That's
great.
cool.
That's
Ah,
actually
so like
pretty good content.
So like you pick your favorite '90s show, and then you get to rewatch it, and you get the insight from that actor. That's pretty cool.
Hmm.
That's interesting. Yeah, I like one of my favorite ones, and he posts every day, is active self protection asp, and it's just uh, real videos of people protecting themselves, or things like that. I'm very into self protection and knowing when you can legally do it and when you should morally do it, and different things like that. Because self protection is very important to me, and I just and the safety behind it is very important to me. So I'm very strict about the safety aspect of uh, of um, of pew pews, and I want to pass that on to other people, the safety aspect. But yeah, so I watch a lot of those videos. Another thing that technology has changed is everybody's got a camera in their pocket that can go straight to the internet immediately, and so self accountability in whatever position you're in. So police is kind of what I was thinking, because I watch a lot of those police accountability videos where police may be stepping their boundaries a little bit, so people record, and then it gets evened out, and everybody's happy with the results. um but then it also keeps individuals accountable. Some guy comes over and screaming at you, pull out your phone and record him, and then he changes his tune because he's like, oh wait, the world is going to see this, I better not act ridiculous. But that doesn't work for everybody. But that's one way I think I like technology.
Yeah,
uh,
what I've heard, that doesn't stop everyone. That they'll just keep
Not everyone.
going. Well, unless
Not
they're
everyone.
not knowing they're being recorded.
Yeah, no, that's why I like the idea that they know they're recording, because most people will act right if they know that the world is going to see it, because they've seen those videos of people making a complete ass of themselves
Hmm.
for no reason. So most people, 95% of the people out there have common sense to treat people with decency. It's the 5% that, you know, it's like, wow, that makes it feel like 50% of the people out there are crazy and don't care.
I like the
So,
idea.
but
That sounds like a win-win either way you go. Like you either catch them or they're not going to do it.
okay, I've got an idea. I don't think I'm going to do it. So I'm gonna put this out on in live into to this huge audience. So it'll probably get stolen. Well, my genius idea. So I did this the other day, kind of on accident. They had a sign said, "Leave a Google review, and we'll give you like a free water or something." I don't know what it was, but they leave a Google review. So they were nice. So I left a great Google review, but I did it right in front of them live. So my idea is, you have a GoPro on your chest. You go into whatever store, you do your normal business. In this instance, it was a pizza place. I walked in, got my sliced pizza. I saw the sign. Um, I brought it up, and then so I'm telling the guy, I'm like, "Oh, hey, I'm going to leave a review. I'll get my free water or whatever it was." And then right in front of him, I spoke it out loud. And I looked him dead in the eye. And I'm doing talk to text. This place is my new favorite pizza place. John is amazing. He will hook you up. 5 stars. And so I do that right in front of him. And then, so that was fine. And then I was like, but what if you go in and you have an interaction, and like, you just give your honest review? Like, say that the service wasn't that great. Maybe they were slow. Maybe they messed up your order. So just right in front of them, so that the chest camera is going to get their reaction. And you're just going to be very honest with them. 3 stars. My order was wrong and it took a little bit late, but the server was very nice. 3 stars. So, but you look at them when you do it, right? So it's like a little awkward because it's just not a very good review. Then you get their reaction. Is it ridiculous? What do you think? It's awkward.
It's
And I think
awkward, yeah.
people like watching awkward, not necessarily being an awkward.
That's
I thought it
true.
was interesting. See, so these are the
Awkward.
crazy ideas that go through my head.
There's
So
a lot of good from that idea. There's a lot of good, maybe a little workable too, but that's a lot of good from that idea.
And see, so that's kind of how it happens. Like, I'll come up with a crazy wild idea that I'll just kind of spit out, and then as I'm talking it through, or as I'm bouncing off somebody else, and then it transforms into something that might actually be workable. You're a little fuzzy. Is it just me, or it might be my connection or something?
Like, one thing about this Zoom, I can usually turn off the camera, but may just.
But no worries, as long as you're good on your side. I mean,
and
I'm just
switching cameras. Is it better now?
yes, it did fix it.
I think this camera tends to get a little out of focus here.
So I can go back
you
and read
turn
all the
that off.
comments, huh?
Yeah, I think it's available off. If you're in here, you can see, you can go back and right now or whenever you can see.
So it's distracting if I do it now, so I can't do that and multitask because I'll lose my chain of thought. But later, I'm going to go back and watch and be probably completely embarrassed as I watch myself, and then I'm going to read the comments too as they go. So this will be.
I think so much coming up good, resonating with people. Little reconnecting here with a few of the chat members here.
Do you ever watch your stuff back? How do you feel about that?
I do watch back. I love listening to myself.
That's good.
And I know that's the one pet peeve people have the most. Watching, I'm still working on. I do watch myself, but I like hearing myself.
That's cool. I don't even know for me because I've never really done it.
Listening to sometimes that Texan accent will come out. Sometimes the New York accent will come out because I've lived in New York for 6 years, and the New
I
York
definitely
like, whoa, there's the New York accent.
I definitely do accents on accident. It depends on it. I think I'm that, like I've said this before, social chameleon. So if they have an accent, my accent will kind of naturally go with theirs. I think a lot of people are like that. That they'll tag on to the stronger accent. Maybe that's what it is, and they'll start to pick some of it up.
So I think you talked about before when we were on the manic stuff and and how like how is it like with like socially, and you just mentioned social community. We'll get into that here in a minute too, because that was interesting as well. That you were saying how people are, I don't know, accepting is the right word, but like how they see you when you're in this state versus the other state. And do you like another podcasting friend he has a channel called My Stuttering Life. He is a stutter, noticeable stutter, and like he tells all the time he has to warn or keep anyone he talks to prepared, driving through a drive through, keep like get him prepared. Like, I have a stutter, just be patient with me. Anything like that you do, like when you're in this state versus that state?
Not something that I figured out yet. Because I'm still figuring it out. I've pretty much figured out my cycle. But no, not really. Like my mom, no. And the other thing is just being, I'm scared to tell people. So I mean, this is going to be on the internet. Not like this is going to go out to like a ton of people, but I'm scared to people know that I'm not normal. I think I work so hard to come across as normal when I'm in normal state. So like now, I let my beard go out. I let my hair get crazy, and I think I'm letting my outside match what's inside, right? So like I feel a little crazy inside, and so the outside is a representation. And then so when I interact with people, so maybe it's just me, and then I'm manifesting it, but I feel more comfortable with people, and I feel like I'm just myself. I think they feel more comfortable because I'm not a normal guy. I'm a crazy, wacky guy, and they're like, "That's cool." Like I don't have to care about impressing him because he's crazy. He doesn't care. So then we're just kind of naturally calm or comfortable. But when I'm like buttoned up, and clean, and and I have to act a certain way, calm, and I can't be like really animated and crazy. Um, and like sitting in school, you have to sit at a desk and you have to do your work, and everybody's the same. Everybody has to do the same test and same studying in the same way, but we're not all the same. We learn in different ways. I'm a mover. I'm a shaker. Like I can't just sit at a desk and learn and read off a book. But if you put a machine in front of me and I start touching and experiencing, I can learn something in, no time and retain that information. I'm just a different type of learner. So I don't know. My personality, I'm just a very different personality. And I hope and pray that everybody knows that I'm at least a little crazy. But I think now I'm coming to terms with just telling people, like, yeah, I think I'm a little bipolar. Sometimes I get really fucking depressed, and sometimes I have crazy ideas. I'm really happy.
So you
But
said you know the cycle, but do you know how to influence the cycle at all? To change it, like, oh, I would like to be in more of this state now. Do you know how to influence that?
I I mean, I think it's situational. So it starts in spring and goes through summer for the most part. I think it's because I enjoy that time. That's where I generally do my trips across country and stuff. So even when I don't do them, I'm still excited during that moment. I think just because it's just natural, and then I calm down during the winter. And so it's seasonal, which again a lot of people do have a very similar like seasonal depression kind of uh, attitude or mentality. Um, but it gets very high and very low, or like a mid high, mid low, more
You
than
can
like a normal
you can
person.
argue that anyone like has that like same. I don't know exactly the same, but
Well, see,
they
that's what
all
I'm
have
saying, because
a
because
high
then I
energy in the summer, low energy in the winter.
see, but so I will explain to people how I feel, and they'll say that, oh yeah, well me too. So it's just all the same. But I think it's levels, right? So yes, let's say scale of 1 to 10, everybody experiences that, right? But say in the middle, this is my high summer, this is my low winter, right? Now let's start getting away from that center, right? It's going like this and this. So when you're at a 10, my highs are super high. I'm gambling my entire life savings and banging prostitutes, right? Depression level 10. I'm, attempting suicide. I'm laying in
Mm,
bed sleeping 12 foot. Not me personally. I just want to.
extremes.
Yeah, it's
It
just
could go to
super extremes, right?
extremes
But
on
like
either side. Extremes
right,
on
but
both sides.
so maybe a three, right? A threes still has high highs and low lows, but he's never gonna try to kill himself, and he's not gonna waste his entire life savings. But maybe he'll go and buy a car that he's a little out of budget for during his manic, and or maybe he will not, cancel some extra plans that he probably wouldn't have canceled with some friends or something. So just levels. So when you're on those higher spectrums on the outside, it's like it just the more dangerous it gets. So I don't think, I'm not that far out. I think I'm at like you know I don't know, 7, right? Like if you're doing 5 to 10 on manic, I'm just like in the middle of crazy. I'm a normal crazy. I don't know.
So how when you go to get to the crazies on both sides, how challenging you think is it to add that balance? What I'm hearing is key is finding a balance.
Well, I'm gonna find out for the first time in a long time. I had a spout there for quite a while drinking. I got really bad with the drinking, and then I quit this year, January. And on the third day of quitting, I had a seizure and I got put in the hospital for 5 days. So I was bad into the drinking, and so I don't know how a normal sober cycle goes, really. So this is kind of the first one we're going to see. We'll see how it goes in a long time at least.
And
So we'll see.
definitely get you back on, and hopefully before then too, because like get the best, but like you said, like show into what
Yeah.
the winter, so going into the fall winter
So
season
probably 2 more
for
shows.
comparison.
If you wanted a good idea of the range, it would be 2 more shows. This would be the beginning, the peak of the Mania. The next one would be, so then once I get most of my main ideas done, then the excitement starts to wear off, and then it starts to naturally slide off, right? So I do
Okay.
complete something, and then the excitement goes away from it, and all that energy that was there, I don't need it anymore. And then it gets zapped. It's not like, oh, I can hold on to it and use it again. It's just boom, and it's gone until I get it again. So I'm trying to get everything I can until that moment happens. I'm hoping it doesn't. I'm hoping that the store does well, and then I have a ton of other ideas that I can continue to do. So I don't need to do everything right now. Save a few ideas so that I can continue my excitement and use those ideas. So I think writing them down, like you were saying, might help. But so I would like to do that. So it'd be good. So see me in like what month are we in right now? 4.
Let Chad know of all your ideas.
So yeah, I'll have to let him know. He's a good person to talk to. Or a good something to talk
It's
to.
interesting. Like I've heard about naming your thoughts, your ego. Like I actually called. That's funny. Like we brought that up earlier. I named my ego Gus. My adverse ego Gus.
See, I'm
That
telling
just
you.
came to me.
What's the psych guy's name? The main guy,
Sean
Sean. See, I totally look like a Sean.
Spencer.
That's actually funny. In high school, my like second cousin or something, I don't know, was his name was Scott Gensel, and his
Mm-hmm.
buddy was named Sean, and all of their friends, like they were 2 years older than me, so I was like a sophomore, and they're all seniors. So all the girls thought Sean was cute, so they're like, "Oh, you look like Sean, you look like Sean." So I'd have all these senior, like cute fucking senior girls coming up to me saying I look like this dude named Sean. I loved it. Got attention from the girls. That's as far as it went because I was a little sophomore kid.
All
I
right,
hated
so
high school. Did you hate high school, Thomas?
when the grade, like it was okay, nothing
I
special.
just I didn't like it. Yeah.
But I guess everyone goes through that, right? Like school
Yeah.
is standardized, and or like I heard that the school is for that government. What do you want, brainwashing or going to school because it's all public school government.
Yes, I would love to get into conspiracy theories. That could be a whole nother episode.
That might be the next one. We'll have you
Oh,
back
yeah.
on.
I'd love to make a guest appearance.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a little bit of expertise in that.
Love a good conspiracy theory. Like you
Ooh.
mentioned, like in our like I'm essentially the same way. I'm not PC. I'm not like anything. Let's go.
What's your favorite one?
Probably like this is probably Joe Rogan sub with aliens
Well, aliens are hot right now. That's topical.
and
You
they're
know,
getting
the
hotter.
governments, and they're getting hotter. Mine's 9/11. I think 9/11 is the hardest one when you look into it to deny. Not that, not anything specific, just deny that we're not being told the truth and that all these reports that they did were made up and bullshit and all this stuff. I can go
And
on
the
and on.
saddest thing, they're not really. They're becoming less conspiracy because we're finding out like
Yes, no, all this stuff is
true
coming
stuff.
true. Exactly. Well, no, and
How fun is that?
but so that's interesting the way that you use that word. So conspiracy is two or more people just conspiring to do something. So so a theory is, right, just that, a theory, it's a thought.
Mm-hmm.
So conspiracy is real. Conspiracy theory is the thought. Conspiracies are real. We have plenty of documentation of the government releasing these documents saying these are conspiracies. Conspiracy theory is something that hasn't been released, hasn't been declassified by the government. And there's a shitload of declassified stuff that's out there that just makes the government look terrible. And if the people really, if we did classes on that and taught the people, they would fucking hate the United States for all the terrible things we've done, all the whistleblowers, all the Edward Snowden and Chelsea Manning, Eric Manning, whatever his name is, all these things they came across and have shown the people. I mean, it's sickening, and that the United States government tried to sweep under the rug. Oh my god, dude! I could go on and rant. We need to change
All right,
topics. I need
let's
to
keep
save that.
this down to, and we'll go connect like after to whatever time. I know you're stopped to take a break from the driving, but let's end this for now, and we can get into that next part. I wanted to talk about mental health, but we don't have to talk about all of it now. And this could be like a 2-part or many-part thing. This is fun.
So while you're doing that and you're looking, I just want to tell everybody, in case you're wondering, because I said I have stopped drinking, and that was January 13th, I believe, was the day that I decided to stop drinking. So now I drink sparkling water, flavored sparkling water. I drink about 18 of these a day. So I've replaced alcohol with sparkling waters, and I just
drink one of these a day.
See, but that's probably regular water, and that's probably really good for you. There's something. This is probably giving me like kidney stones or something. I don't know. But it's delicious. I love it.
So rapid fire, and I like to finish everything off with some bonus.
Hold on, you're breaking
questions.
Up. What did you say?
You got me again?
Yeah. Yep.
So rapid fire.
Yo, yeah, rapid
real
fire.
Quick, and then bonus questions, and we'll get into that and wrap it up for right now, and let you be on your way to here in the Dallas area. So start rapid.
Dude, that guy looks like Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury.
Sorry. It's my ADHD. Squirrel.
Where's Queen? My uncle's driving on the side of the road. Oh, look, a squirrel.
Yeah, exactly. Squirrel. All right.
We joke about that. So here we go.
Have you
Ready?
seen the movie
and this
Up?
Is Up. I have not.
What?
No, I've heard of it.
I believe Doug is the dog. Doug the dog. And he has a collar that makes him talk, that allows him to talk. And so he's super ADHD. He'll be talking to somebody and go, squirrel. That's really cute. Up. Highly suggest it. All right, rapid fire.
All right, speaker, rapid fire, ADHD and everything, gaming, and I'm just gonna quick statements here. Ready? And 5, 4, 3, 2. Name your ultimate gaming console.
64.
Favorite game shooter, RPG, platformer.
I mean, hands down 007, along with the 64, go hand in hand. Also PUBG.
I would have to code say. You'll still know by heart.
No
cheat codes.
Not a cheater. Not a cheater.
Not a cheater. Never used any of the cheat codes.
All right. Nobody's saying never. Listen, never.
Game soundtrack you can't stop humming.
Oh man, there's a couple. I went through a few spouts. I was just recently talking about Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2003 with somebody. I believe I played on the PlayStation 2. Had some bangers on there. I can't think of them off the top of my head right now, but I played the shit out of that game, and there's some good ones. I'm not a big golf guy either, but I love that game.
You visited Alabama. You said you visited Alabama. Favorite Alabama dish you've had in Alabama?
I'm sorry, one more time.
A dish you had, or favorite dish you had in Alabama?
There wasn't anything specific in Alabama because I don't think of anything. I didn't eat alligator or anything in Alabama. But I did do the East Coast. On one of my trips, I drove to Florida to help my grandma after a hurricane. Her trailer got all messed up. And then from there, I drove up the East Coast and hit a bunch of states that I had never hit. And then so I went to Maine and did lobster. I went to New York and I had pizza. I went to Maryland and had crab cakes. I did. There was one more. So up there where clam chowder. I did Boston, Massachusetts. So when I went up there, there are a lot of places where I did that, where I specifically went there to eat food. But Alabama, no, there wasn't anything.
VR or AR? Where's gaming headed, you think? VR
Yeah.
or AR?
Well, what's AR? Artificial reality?
I had it, and help me out. AR.
Because I mean, I think it's a mixture of all of the things that we're saying now. I mean, everything's going to be combined into an experience, and I think it's probably going to be something like what they have in Star Trek, where it's like
Augmented. Thank you, Sharp.
augmented
reality.
I like the augmented reality. So that's where you see your surroundings, but it adds things to it. So again, I think it's going to be a combination of everything. It depends on the application, right? So yes, I think augmented reality is going to be used in our everyday, right? It's going to be the wearables. We're going to see the time in the corner or whatever it is. We're going to have access to the internet, right? Yeah, Elon Musk is going to put his chip in our head. What is that? Neuralink.
Are you gonna volunteer yourself for that?
I mean, of course, they say that is linked to like the Mark of the Beast and stuff, right? So I probably won't be the first one. But
wait and see what happens.
Wow. But so you heard about the first guy. So he, I think, was a quadriplegic, doesn't have any hands or or he can't use any of his limbs. And he is one of the best Call of Duty players because he has the Neuralink. So all of his things are instant. It's he thinks it and it happens instead of thinking it and then the neurons go to our limbs and then we do it. So there's a delay. Like it's a very short delay, but it's a delay. He doesn't have that delay. It's thought, action, and so he's really good at the game. So I think it's really interesting. I think it's gonna be a combination. I think it's gonna be like Star Trek, where they've got a whole room where you step in, and you're gonna be in a different place.
All right, we're on number 7 here. Worst gaming habit you've got
that I have now would be it's not right now. When I'm in Mania, I'm a lot better. I play the games when I'm depressed, but it's the mobile games. So I was on PUBG. That's where I would spend a lot of my time. I'd get off work, go and slam out 6 hours or something every day, or whatever it was, right? And then I got off that because I was like, man, I'm spending way too much time. And then it would be the fucking apps, the app games. And then I would get fed up eventually, and then I would delete them, and then I would just go in my cycle, and then I'd download them again, and then do it too much, and then delete them. So, and then that's the cycle.
Dream game collab with any developer,
like making a game.
Collab, making or working.
Yeah, if I could get with a developer and make like a really cool game that I like. I mean, it would be an open world. Like I like Fallout. Like I think Fallout is probably my favorite franchise. I love post-apocalyptic. I love open world. I love scavenging. So I would do a Fallout collab, and I would make it like fucking GTA. So it would be a mixture. I would combine Fallout and GTA. It would be a post-apocalyptic open world video game where then you can go through buildings and scavenge for things, and you can build things, and you're trying to survive. Kind of like there's a computer game that is like that. I forgot what it's called. Very popular.
Simulator, The Sims?
No, it's like you build a base and then your base is there forever. Like, and so if you leave, people come and raid you. And it's a one word title. I forgot what it is. But anyway, So yeah, next question.
PS2 or GameCube?
PS2, hands down.
Favorite gaming snack back in the day?
Snack back in the day. I didn't snack. I like to smoke while I played. I just love to fog out the room and just smoke. I didn't get the munchies really too much back then.
Not even
Just,
after smoking?
not really. No, I don't know, go eat a sandwich or something. It wasn't like I wouldn't get really creative and start making shit. I just blowing trees.
Alabama football or basketball?
One more time?
Alabama football or basketball?
What does that mean?
I guess a sports question. Football or basketball?
Just in general, football
Yeah.
or basketball? Football, I guess. I don't do sports, so I don't care.
Best retro game character?
Best
One
retro character to rule them all? Pikachu.
One tech
He's retro.
gadget you can't live without?
Say that phone. That would be a tech
Biggest,
gadget.
yeah, that's our pocket friends. Biggest
Everybody.
gaming pet peeve?
Gaming pet peeve. That's the last one. That's a weird one to leave on. Shit. Okay, from back in the day. Not sharing. I come over to my buddy's house. I don't want to come over to
Sharing
watch
is
you play.
caring.
I want to play. That would be my biggest pet peeve.
You know, a bunch of people like that. Sharing is caring, guys.
I don't want to watch you play. Let me get in there, or at least let me hold the second controller. I could pretend I'm playing.
So, if anyone wanted to hold stuff you sell, like what do you sell? Anyone get a hold of you, like retro pieces in your business?
I have an eBay business up. It will be Ziggy. I think it might be Ziggy's Savings Market right now, or it might be Ziggy's Prime Picks, which is the name right now. I'm not sure if it's been officially changed, but I do have an eBay store. We'll put the link below, and it is currently being updated because my collection has gotten a lot bigger. I would, if we have time, I'd love to talk about it, or if we want to do another one. I'd love to talk about some of the stuff that I've got coming up soon.
Just say it. So, spill it all now. Spill it out.
For instance, if anybody's a big Magic the Gathering fan, I've got some bangers. I've got some. I'm not familiar with Magic, so excuse me if I completely botch the lingo. But I've got an Underground Sea land card from the 80s in fantastic condition. Not very played. It's a beautiful card, and apparently they get really excited about it because it's playable. They want to play it for the power that it has in the game for certain series and certain games. So there's a lot of excitement behind that. I've got two Tundras, one that's original and one that's revised, I think is the term. And then a couple other ones that are apparently really cool, really sought after. So Comic-Con's coming up. I keep saying the wrong one. Do you know what the official name is? The Houston Comic-Con? It's coming up soon. So it's like 2 weeks or something. So I'm excited. So I've got a huge
Is there
collection.
another one that I've only
Yeah, it's like
I've heard many different, like I guess there's different ways, like different.
But whatever it is, it's coming. It's
Yeah.
coming in 2 weeks. So I'm really excited. So I've got
Houston's getting a. Sorry, I got an idea. Go ahead and finish.
No, what was it? Would they have a what?
I hear like Houston's getting like they're revamping, renewing a huge convention center in Houston. Yeah, I see that, like the plans for it at least, not yet built.
But what was I saying?
Talking about Comic-Con, the different
yes.
names.
So I have all these fire ass cards, and they're in fantastic condition. Like you just open them and like just put them away.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna bring them, and it's gonna be every single person that would appreciate these cards is gonna be there. You know, I mean, not everybody, but you understand what I'm saying. Like the people that are gonna appreciate these cards are going to be at this place. So I'm really excited. And then
Crystal
I've got
Flash, smash that like button for you, bro. Crystal Flash, smash that
smash
like
that
button.
like button, hit the subscribe button,
Hit
hit
subscribe.
that
Do all the things
notification
that you
bell.
see on the player. Do all
You
the
know what I mean?
things. Subscribe, share.
I love you. See you next
And I got
time.
3 final questions for today, and we're gonna definitely this conversation will continue
Yeah, I could
as
go on.
earthquake.
Keep dropping my phone.
I just roll it. I've gotten a lot better at rolling with it. What's up, Ziggy? Crystal Flash says, "What up, Ziggy?" 3 final bonus questions here that you haven't. I send the emails. I don't know if you saw an email or got a chance to see the emails, the other questions, but these questions aren't in that email. First
Were the
one,
other questions in there? Because I
the
didn't read
other
the email.
questions, yeah,
Yeah.
they were.
Oh yeah. So I was totally unprepared. So if anybody
This was so this was all off
behind the
the cuff.
scenes, there you go. Yeah.
Final questions here for today. How can the gaming community and tech creators collaborate to ensure online spaces, multiplayer games foster connection and positivity rather than toxicity?
I
It's
if
a
I can
big
be
loaded question.
if I
They're trying to get you
and
to think.
and Thomas, if I can be completely candid, if I'm saying that right, I just want to be completely honest. I think that's a bullshit question. I think it's a PC question that it's just bullshit. It's something
Yeah.
that you would read in a no offense to whoever asked it or if wherever it came from. It's something that you would read in a PC magazine, that or like a computer magazine, of somebody that thought that that was a great question. It is a bullshit question that means nothing to the future of gaming. It's just whatever is going to happen is going to happen. And it's going to go in the direction that is most popular. It's supply and demand. So if people demand toxicity and craziness and they want to curse and use bad words on the internet towards each other, that's what's going to flourish because that's what people want. And I think that is what people want. People don't want to hold your hand and skip down a road whistling in a video game. They want to get raw and raunchy because they can't in their own world, right? So they go to this world to get that, and that's my answer. My honest to God answer.
And that's the best answer, honestly. Yeah.
Number two.
Looking at how tech has shaped your life from PS2 to today.
So we
These are,
we were gonna do pros and cons. So
oh yeah,
I think video games kind of are a negative in my life, right? Because I've spent
hmm
a lot of time on video games. Some would say wasted, because there's only a certain amount of things that you can learn from video games, and I think you can learn things from video games. So like I spend days and days and days of my time watching YouTube. And some would say that's a waste of time. But now that I'm opening my shop and doing all these different things and ideas, I'm now thinking about all these other businesses that I watched on YouTube and how they did it. And so that was research for me now, I realized. YouTube was research. They say like you do 10,000 hours of something, you become an expert, right? So I did 10,000 hours of research on YouTube on just random shit of like buying and selling and doing and dumpster diving and all kinds of crazy shit that I've seen that I'd go and try. But video games, there's only a certain amount that you can get out of it. You can get some quality time with your friends. You can meet new friends, community, but there's only it's limited.
so as products you say they're not really that so much evergreen. Like there's a
I wish there,
lifespan.
yeah. I mean, I wish there was like a video game that where you're learning, but you're also enjoying. And I know they're out there, something I'm sure, but like yeah, like a video game where you learn how to buy and sale and haggle or something. I don't know, or whatever you're into. A game that would you experience, but there's no experience like real life experience, right? So I don't know. Next question.
I can teach as you're having fun or something. And then this
Yeah.
one, it's developed from my question that when it comes to innovation or creation, I like to ask and I probably asked that too, but in this one, what does progress mean to you in the context of gaming or tech or your business? What's one advancement you've seen that embodies that idea? Progress.
I'm I'm not grasping the question. Um,
Or I'll just ask it the way I usually like to
yeah.
ask. What is your definition of innovation?
Um, well, so I think the biggest innovation that we're going to see coming into our lives is AI. I think that is going to be the biggest thing that's going to change our lives. Um, Me and you have talked about this briefly, Thomas, that technology that we see and that we get, somebody already has had for a long period of time, be it our government, another government, or you know, a technology company that has it in proprietary. You know what I'm saying? They have it and they've been using it, and then we get it 20 years later. I think a lot of that is going on, and that the technology that we get, yeah, has already been around. But I think AI is where it's going, and it's going to change our lives for the better, or for worse. Who knows?
Speaking of that, I just heard of a latest thing that just I guess it's weird that we're hearing about it just now, but like some secret weapon or something. I don't know if you're hearing anything like that, but some secret weapon that our U.S. military is just coming out with or something that
What?
supposedly no one knows the power of, and
It's not a
it's
laser, is it?
maybe
I'm saying
laser.
it.
I don't know. Maybe
Well,
laser.
I'm saying
Maybe
it dead serious. So
lasers. Teleportation was thrown out there.
I may go into this story one day and put it on the internet. I told a lot of people, and it made me crazy. But it's a good story, and I'd love to hear people's feedback. I'm sure there's a lot of people that call me.
Mhm. Next conversation, conspiracy hour. But I've never noticed he called me Thomas, and about all the school we knew each other. I was always going by Thomas. I since then one said like I want to ditch Thomas because I feel like I was being scolded. So now it's Tommy. So like he was calling me Thomas. So I'll just clarifying that a little bit. I think he froze. I think it's okay if he froze, but pop back in. He froze up, and
Right.
all right,
Am I back?
we're just ending. You froze up at the last part. I was like, where were we? Where we? Remember where we?
Yeah, I was just saying about the crazy government weapons and stuff. I got a
Yeah,
really good story, um, and I'd
yeah,
love to tell the people. I'm not sure where. Maybe here would be appropriate. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll
yeah.
do a conspiracy
Conspiracy
episode.
hour next time. Conspiracy hour.
Yeah,
Conspiracy.
that would be an interesting one. I've got a doozy.
But I was say before. I think I was like, what's going on? He froze again. But like I was like, not now, but you notice you called me Thomas, and I switched to Tommy because like I feel like I was being scolded too much.
Right, like it's your full name. Yeah, sorry, and I'm just
Yeah.
used
My
to. Yeah,
legal name is Thomas.
I have a buddy. I have a buddy. Whenever I met him in the bar. Whenever I first met him, he introduced him. Let's use a different name. He introduced his name as Billy. He said, "Hey, I'm Billy. My name is Billy. Cool. Hey, Billy." For years, Billy. And then he changed his name to BJ. And so, he's like, "Okay, I'm BJ." So, and then everybody called him BJ. So then I would see him be like, "Hey, Billy, how's it going?" "No, you call me by my name. My name is BJ." And we're all drinking and stuff. So I think it's funny. So I keep going. "All right, Billy, that's cool." Because that's his name. That's why I got it saved in my phone. And he throws a fit. But yeah, so I just thought that was funny. Let's pick it back
But
up.
yeah,
I
this
really
was
enjoyed this. I
fun.
can't wait to watch it back. This was a blast. I
And I'll
appreciate it.
edit it up. But this will go up on all the podcast episodes too, and I'll edit it, clean it up because we had some cutout moments and everything, and I'll clean it up and everything. edit it, and
Perfect. And then I'll send you my links, I guess, my
yeah,
social medias and eBay and all that.
yep, fun conversation.
Awesome.
And we look forward to do it again.
I love it. Hopefully I get some fans and they want to see me again, I guess. I don't know how this works. I'm excited.
Made
awesome,
some
man.
today.
I appreciate it. That's
all
cool.
right.
Very cool, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
We hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we did. It's always a blast exploring the tech universe with you. But alas, it's time to wrap things up. If you've got burning tech questions or just want to say hello, remember you can reach out to us on our website, social media, or drop us an email. We love hearing from you. And if you found this episode as electrifying as we did, please take a moment to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Your feedback helps us keep the tech goodness flowing. Don't forget to share Tech Time with Sweet Tea with your fellow techies. The more, the merrier, right? As we sign off today, always remember that tech is a tool and it's here to serve you. So use it wisely, explore fearlessly, and keep it real in your tech adventures. Stay curious, stay connected, and keep rocking the digital world. Catch you on the next episode of Tech Time with Sweet Tea.